How to invest in real estate with other people's money. This may be the smartest question ever asked in real estate. You probably already know, if you're asking this question, that other people's money is still the smartest, best, easiest, most smart way to invest in real estate if you know how to do it, and we're not just talking about debt. I'm gonna tell you exactly how you do it, the full truth with no fluff. Let's go. I'm gonna share with you the 5 best ways to invest in real estate this year using other people's money. I'm gonna share with you my biggest insider investor trick to avoid debt on my credit report. I literally use this same technique and strategy to make over $300,000 in the last 6 months, okay? And you can do the exact same thing. I'm gonna share that insider tip with you. And then last but not least, I'm gonna give you a step-by-step on how to do it, how to get started, and start making profits in less than 30 days. So before you actually start investing in real estate, you need to decide on what it is that you want to do in real estate. Real estate is such a complex thing because there's so many different types of real estate. We have apartments, we have condos, we have houses, we have warehouses, we have strip malls, you have businesses, you have lots, vacant land. So much that you can do in real estate because investing in real estate has many different niches. But the best thing about real estate is usually the properties, the values of the things that you're going to be purchasing is increasing in value. So there's so many benefits to investing in real estate. This is why so many people are interested in real estate, but this is also what scares so many people and holds so many people back. There's so many different options. There's so much to learn. There's so much to do. There's all these confusing terms, acronyms, and jargon that people just don't know. And so what happens is many people just sit and watch videos or they learn about it, but they never actually do it. And I'm going to move you from learning about it to actually doing it. And I'm going to tell you why. Real estate is the #1 way to wealth. 89% of all millionaires got so through real estate. This was a fact, like 100 years ago when Andrew Carnegie said it, and it is still true to this date. And there's so many reasons why that is, because real estate is just something that usually goes up in value. It's something that, people need a place to stay or they need a place for their business. It's just a requirement in our society if you get into the right niche. So let's talk about that. So step #1 when we're talking about getting into real estate, before you can ever go use other people's money, is you need to decide your goals. So I tell people, and I'm not joking, I'm rich in real life. And you can do the same thing. You can be rich in real life, not just on TV or on a camera. But you got to decide on what your goals are in real estate. Do you want to do fix and flip? Do you want some cash flow? Do you want to work in real estate and work as a real estate agent or property management, and you enjoy doing the work that's in real estate? What is it that you want to do? Do you want rental properties? Do you want to wholesale properties? Again, what are your goals? Are you looking for passive income? Are you looking for income that you do earn, like a real estate agent where you go out and you help people find properties? Are you looking for cash flow where you just invest into a real estate trust or a fund and you just receive money from that real estate? Again, you got to decide on what it is that your goals are before you can decide on which avenue that you're going to take. So I'm going to give you a hint because, again, it can get confusing and many people just don't know. But what you probably are looking for, and what I would suggest and what worked for me, is replacing my income. So most people work a job. That's just how things work. We work a job, we get income for that. But if you're getting into real estate, one of the first goals that you should have is to replace your income so that you have all of your time and you can do more of what it is that you want to do. That's just a hint. So think about what that means for you, how much money that is, and then think about what it is that you want to do in real estate to replace your income. Step 3, when we're talking about how to invest in real estate using other people's money, is setting up a business. You need to set up a business. If you're really wanting to use other people's money, you want to do this on a grand scale, the smartest, easiest thing to do is to start a business. Okay, you want to go ahead and get your business registered, name your business, get it registered with the state, either an LLC or a corporation, whatever you choose. Get the EIN number, get you a phone number, get you a business email, and get you a website. I know you're thinking, okay, what does that have to do with getting other people's money? It has a lot to do with getting other people's money. The smartest, again, easiest way to get money for real estate is through a business. You will be able to get more hard money loans. You'll be able to get private money. You'll be able to get crowdfunded money. You'll be able to get business funding. There's just so many ways to get money if you have a business versus just being an individual. And I'm not just saying just get a business on paper. You really want to go the whole way. Don't just stop at the business license and get that one thing. Do all of what I say. Get the phone number, get the email, get the website so that you're credible and that you have a legitimate business. This will not take you very long. I have students that have set up their business in 1 day, depending on what state you're in. So this is not a hard process to do, and it doesn't cost very much money. But this is the key to unlocking the door to all of this business funding that doesn't get on your credit report. Let's get to that part. So the next step, again, using other people's money. Let's now build the business credit. That's the step. So you got the business all set up. I'm going to give you 5 ways to get money using other people's money. The first, you could build business credit. You literally can take a couple of months. Now that you have that business, you get a Dun & Bradstreet number, you go through the process and you build your business credit. I have an entire video that I made on how to build business credit. I'll make sure I put a link to that video in the description box below. I'm not gonna go into it all here. That's one of the easiest ways to get funding and get money and use other people's money for your business. And the great thing about this, in most cases, it will not be on your credit report, okay? I literally have a Ziploc baggie full of business credit cards. I have lines of credit. I literally actually have millions of dollars in business lines of credit cards and loans, all in my business's name. And I even have students that were able to do this and get, I think one of my last students, he's over at my biggest student, 11 months, had over $100,000 in business credit. Okay, so this is not something that takes a long time. This is not something that's very hard. And then the great thing about it is you can just do this over and over again. Once you have figured out how to do the business credit and get business funding, you can make another business and do that over and over and over again. Okay, and I'm gonna keep teaching you and telling you how to do all of that. That's one way to use other people's money. Another way to use people's money is private money, okay? So these are people that you know, friends, family, co-workers, people from real estate investor groups. You can create your own investor association or your own group and have people pool their money together and pool together private money. Private money is not through a hard money lender. It is just money that you have sourced yourself, okay? Usually from people that you know, and you usually just source enough money either for the down payment and then you'll get another loan to actually purchase the property, or you will use that money, that private money, to fix the property up. You'll use it for like your renovation budget. So super easy there, private money. That's the second, way I told you I'd give you 5. Number 3 is wholesaling. Wholesaling property is basically when you find a property that is off market, okay, not listed with a real estate agent. It's not in the MLS or the multiple listing service. It's a property that someone maybe is having a problem with. They have not listed with a real estate agent and they want to sell it. They think they want to sell it. They probably need to sell it for cash, usually because they need the money quickly or because the property needs some types of repairs. And when we do with wholesaling, we find these people, we market to them. Again, I have a whole video. I'll make sure I put a link to that in the box below. And you market to those people, you get it under contract, for an example, for like $100,000, and then you flip that contract for even just like $105,000 or $110,000, and you keep the difference. It doesn't sound like a very hard thing to do because it's not. And the great thing about it is with real estate and wholesaling, you can easily pick up $5,000, $10,000 because the numbers are already so high. Investors are looking for those type of off-market properties. And again, no money. I said you weren't going to use any of your money. So you're like, okay, how do I buy this? There are lenders out there. We're a lender. You can contact us where we will do transactional funding, where we'll just give you the money so that you can buy the property and then flip it to that next seller or that next buyer with a double close. Okay, again, it's a super easy process. It's not hard to do. You buy the property with transactional funding and then you sell it to someone else, usually in the same day or a couple of days later, using a double close, and people will lend you all of the money. Lenders like me, we call it transactional funding. We will lend you all of the money to do that, okay, for a small fee. And then you get your cut. So if you were going to get $5,000 in the example that I used before, where you had $100,000 and then you flipped it to somebody for $105,000, you may only get $3,200 because $1,800 of it went to your lender and some fees. So again, still very profitable and a way to do it with absolutely none of your money. They will lend just basically on the deal, the number. Number 4, and I'm gonna give you the best way last. I'm so sorry, but keep holding on. I'm gonna give you the best way last. This next way is super easy too. This is how I got my first real deal, and I partnered with my coach. So I've shared with you guys before that I was flipping houses in Atlanta, and me and my husband, we lost our jobs. We lost all of our properties. We were complete idiots. We had no idea what we were even doing. I don't even know why we were flipping houses to begin with, because obviously we did not know what we were doing. And I ended back up in my parents' basement, bankrupt, and with plenty of foreclosures. So while I was in my parents' basement, I literally got me a coach that taught me some things about real estate. He basically taught me wholesaling, and I made a ton of money doing that. I just shared it with you. You're welcome. I paid $20,000 to learn that. But I partnered with my coach and made, I think on my first deal, I made $17,000. So it definitely was one of the smartest decisions I ever made. But a real estate mentor or a real estate coach, you know, some of the people out there, not all of them, but many of us, we will partner with our students, okay? People that have invested and they really want to do this. We really want to make a way for them to start investing in real estate. And it usually takes someone that not only has money, because that's the easy part. It's really the knowledge and the expertise. And that's who you're partnering with, and that's an easy way to do it with no money. I just had paid my coach, but then all of the money with the partner, he came up with all of the money, and then we split the profits. So that's a way. And again, you don't have to pay for mentorship. There are some people that, you know, maybe do it for free, or you know your uncle or your aunt or whoever is a real estate investor, and you can partner with them and use their money and learn how to do it and get a profit just by finding them some properties. And last but not least, I'm going to give you the best way right now, because this is like the mind-blowing, most mind-boggling, awesome way to invest in real estate using other people's money. And drum roll, the last and final way to use other people's money that I'm going to share with you in this video that has been incredible, powerful, life-changing. It's like right now, the way to do it, forget all those old ways, all the ways I just told you, this is the way. And that is crowdfunding, okay? Crowdfunding is one of the best ways to invest in real estate nowadays, not because, you know, there's these websites that you can go to. One of them is TrueCrowd, TrueCrowd.com. I have my real estate crowdfund up there. It's NuRez, NuUREZ.com, where we pool money together. You can invest as little as $500 and you get quarterly distributions. We're buying hundreds of properties. We probably, just in the business alone, we already have lots of properties that we're making money off of and splitting the profits with our investors. And you can do the same thing. You can either invest in a crowd fund that already exists for a little bit of money, or you can create your own crowd fund, okay? And have other people give you all the money that you need to buy properties, and then you split the profits with them. That is the key, guys. That is the way to do it. This is taking down risk. This is the power of numbers. You can take less people and they can just put in a small amount and you can get hundreds of properties. That is what we're doing. And this is why it's so profitable and why it works so quickly. Because if you can get 100 people, think about this for a second. If 100 people put in $500, you do the math to that. Or even if they just put 100 people put in $1,000, easily 100 properties, okay? If 100 people put in 1,000 properties versus one person only has $500 or $1,000, they're not getting very far. But if you find lots of people that can just put in a small amount, we can buy so many properties. You can buy so many properties. We can start doing something really quickly, really fast, and really profitable. And that is the key to real estate with other people's money nowadays. So this is the way to invest in real estate with no money. Please take a moment to go ahead and like this video. Please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that little notification bell so you do not miss any of this content. If you want to check out our crowdfund, please do so at TrueCrowd, TrueCrowd.com. You can go see it all there. You can read about it. If you want to learn more about crowdfunding, you can watch my video. I'll make sure I've made a free video right here that you can learn all about. I'll make sure I put a link to that so that you have it. I want to make sure you have all of the resources, tools, information that you need to be successful. There is so much abundance and money out there. I want to make sure that you are getting your share. This is Noelle. To your success.